It's Friday night, and you know what that means. There was another episode of AEW. Jack the Graphic Rampage. I got it. I'm just saying that guy over there.
Range of motions.
Unfortunately, there wasn't anything too crazy to make a fun name for, because episode Rampage was, well, an episode of Rampage.
Hey, there was big things tonight, okay?
They trotted out the stars.
Very important things. Probably the most important thing in AEW history, to be honest with you.
I have a pretty good idea. Like at first, I was sitting there thinking about some of the people that you like, just in general about the show. And then when you kept going, I was like, oh, I know what this is exactly about.
Mm-hmm.
Should I, even though if it wasn't a match thing, just let me know. Should I prepare the graphic for once we get to that point? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you already know.
Got it. But again, they trotted out the stars, so they made it entertaining from that aspect. You didn't have any highly anticipated matchups, really. Nothing that's gonna blow your mind. But we did get to start off with titles versus trademarks.
Yeah. I wanted Mark Sterling to get the win here. I don't care about his two goons. I just want Mark Sterling to win.
You want to keep the word scissor away?
No, I just wanted him to tease them a little bit longer.
So
he had on that pink suit with the
scissors on the back,
sparkly scissors on the back.
So I know in the very beginning you kind of missed. I know Max dropped a few lines. The only one that I specifically remember was he made a comment about winning the ratings when they went to Tuesday night versus NXT.
Oh, all right. Shots fired.
Because, I mean, the last time that AEW wasn't on in its normal time slot and they moved in a similar fashion, they dipped down hard in the ratings. And they did much better this time, but it was still like 25% lower than the normal episode of Dynamite this week.
Yeah. Because, a lot of those people that watch NXT probably would be watching AEW.
And then there's people like us where just like every day I was dropping a reminder in our messages like, let's not forget, it's not Wednesday, it's Tuesday.
Yeah, and then I'm sure there's plenty of people that didn't know.
Or just like slips in mind because, let's face it, once you get to a certain age as an adult, there's certain days and times of your life that you are just operating on routine.
Yeah. Monday through Friday, you just kind of... You just go through it.
It made Wednesday very weird this week.
It did. It threw me off. I thought it was a day later all week. Yesterday was Friday. So today I worked on Saturday. It was bullshit. I demand overtime for that extra day that I think that I worked somehow.
It got to Wednesday night. I got home from work. I'm doing all my kind of normal nightly stuff, but then it got to wrestling time, and I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing right now?
Exactly. I didn't know what to do.
I'm like, all right, She-Hulk is over, so there's not going to be a Wednesday Marvel show. I'm like, I don't know really what to do.
You said Evil Uno was live tweeting.
Yes, did you look into it at all?
Dynamite. I didn't.
Okay, there was some things that were absolute gold. Like some of it was legit. I don't want to say legitimate because it was obviously all a like jest and as a joke. But there were certain things in the thread that were actually, it made me crack up. Sorry, I'm going back to Twitter right now. Oh, he recently tweeted since they were in Jacksonville, he misses this room, and it was a room that all the Dark Order stuff used to happen in. He tweets a good amount on a regular basis, so I'm just trying to get back to that specific thing.
Oh, it took a while. It takes a while.
Okay, wait, why did it take me here? I was in the thread, and I was just trying to go back to the beginning of the thread. So we start off at 7:50 saying it's 10 minutes away. The show begins. We have a special commentary team of Excalibur, Daddy Magic, Bill Regal, and one of the boys can't tell which one, and of course Evil Uno. At one point it goes,
which one?
It was what a captivating content. Evil Uno thinks he even saw MJF cry 3 real human tears when talking about the time someone bullied him on a message board. Amazing. Oh no, before MJF could talk about the time he was pen pals with Billy Gunn, Brandon Cutler has interrupted. He's mad that about losing that first Dynamite match that has challenged MJF. So you got Brandon Cutler versus MJF. Unsurprisingly, Cutler won with an airplane spin. The crowd is... Never mind, we're not going to do that next part. Oh, show appreciation. I think they're treating it like a ride. It was like they're throwing in there. You heard it here first. Yes, Evil Uno makes Daddy Magic's nipples hard. That was one of the tweets.
That's good. He probably does, though.
We go backstage with Nyla Rose. Before she takes the breath, she is rudely interrupted by Jade. Nyla admits that she traded the TBD championship for the Ruffles all-dressed chips, and she ain't sharing. She sprints away. Which is funny because what just happened on Rampage. Thanks for your car keys. Bye.
Yeah, she just took her whip. All right.
You know how Regal and people call Regal and like Excalibur, they talk about like the romance in between them, like the way he's like Regal will compliment him and stuff. He goes, Excalibur has just professed his love for Evil Uno, and William Regal is furious. We have a lover's quarrel on commentary.
Oh, like this is a good show.
Our third match of the night: Satnam Singh versus Serpentico. Satnam tossed Serpentico into orbit, and since he has yet to return, he's been counted out. Satnam wins.
I like this Dynamite so far. This is a good show.
So here's one that people said should actually happen. The Bunny and Penelope Ford are playing with a Ouija board backstage. You shouldn't play with demonic board games. They accidentally summoned Abaddon. A challenge has been made. Your fourth match. Oh. Ford and the Bunny versus Abaddon and, let's say, Riho. That's literally how he typed it.
That's dope. That actually would be cool.
Penelope Ford. You know what part of this reminds me of, like when people put the stuff into like the AI bots and it just takes random shit and throws it together.
Yeah.
Except there's some sense behind it sometimes.
Except for it's Evil Uno, so that's probably just how he operates.
Penelope Ford distracts Abaddon with a severed leg that a fan happily supplied and wins with a roll-up. Jamie Hayter inexplicably showed up to take a Riho crossbody to the floor.
Yeah, that's pretty much what she did.
So this is going to call back to a moment we've talked about in wrestling history. There's a bed in the ring. It's a live scissoring celebration. Before Mark Sterling can touch finger taints with Tony Nese, Chris Jericho interrupts because you can't have a single Wednesday show without the Ocho. Mark Sterling says he paid off the people in charge. Evil Uno swears it wasn't him. He's getting a Ring of Honor championship opportunity right now. And what people are saying that is Mark Sterling's best match ever. Chris Jericho wins in 32 seconds.
I like this show.
Then
this needs to happen.
He starts to wrap it up. He only got to like 9:15, 9:20, and then he kind of ran out of steam. But I mean, just to even keep it up that long.
Yeah.
I was just following along.
It's a good show. All right, Evil Uno, get your own wrestling promotion.
No, just book Rampage.
Yeah, let him do Rampage. Or like even let him do Dark. How about that?
Bring in Matt Hardy to his cinematic stuff so you can actually have Satnam Singh throw Serpentico into orbit.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it feels like we're on E-Bomb's World in like 2004 with some of the stuff that happens.
I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Because I'm still in 2004 mentally. But it's 2022 physically because it hurt.
I just stopped and think about the age. I was like, oh god, maybe I don't want to go back to 2004.
So yeah, 2004 what was that? That was oh yeah, well I was 15 most of that year.
Yeah, I'm like, either do we go back just young enough before we can start working jobs, or do we skip ahead enough years to drinking years? Because we had jobs, but we were not very responsible.
No. I mean, well, I drank almost like 7 days a week, so you know.
We would go like 2 or 3 nights in a row sometimes, and during those nights, we'd be eating food. We'd go out to eat. I'd have to work at 7:45 in the morning. I wouldn't be rolling into the house until like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, go to work on like 4 hours of sleep.
Yep. Oh, to be young.
Man,
I am now not capable of doing that. I need me some rest.
I feel more like how a certain good friend of ours was now. It's like, oh, you want to go do something after work? Nap first. Catch me in like an hour.
Yep. Yeah. Either it has to be immediately after work, or I'm going to take a nap. Like it can't be like, hey, let's do this thing at 9 o'clock. I'll be like, that's not enough time for me to get a nap.
Like half the time that would say like, once I'm home,
that's
I'm
too late.
home.
Not enough time for me to get a nap.
And then they come back with a little bit later, and they're like, but then I don't get to go to sleep at a decent. No, I'll see you on the weekend.
Old bastards.
But yeah, so the actual show, back to Mark Sterling. Of course, you know, Acclaim gets to do their whole rap, and as soon as Bowman gets the mic and he's getting ready to say the words that we all want to hear, Sterling cuts him off, and then he goes into a speech before he wants to have Tony Nese and Woods scissor him, but the Acclaimed attack to start the match.
Yeah.
There was a brilliant bit of storytelling in this match that probably will get overlooked just because nobody cares about the varsity athletes. But Woods faked that Billy Gunn tripped him up just to get Billy Gunn ejected.
Oh. Yeah.
It looked weird catching it out of the corner of my eye, but then the way commentary talked about it, I was like, oh yeah, he definitely faked it on his own.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all. Okay.
He was on like the left side. You could barely even see Billy on the screen, but you saw Woods like start to get in, and he's on like his hands and knees, and he just drops down to the mat. I was like, that was weird.
Yeah. Trying to do the Eddie Guerrero, man. Everybody always wants to steal the Eddie Guerrero.
I mean, it worked. It got Billy kicked out. Didn't make a difference in the end.
Yeah, come on now. The Acclaimed have plot armor.
Oh yeah, until you have a serious looking tag team against them, it ain't happening.
Yeah. Plus it'll be a while. Like, once they start to lose steam, then they'll take the belts off them. But who knows when that'll be.
I'm trying to think of who's had the shortest. Well, never mind. I already know who's had the shortest reigns. It was the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
Before they lost it to. They lost to.
Swerve in Our Glory.
Is that when they lost it?
Yeah.
Or did they lose it to Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus? No, Swerve in Our Glory.
No, Swerve in Our Glory. Because they beat Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then lost the belts like a month later.
Yeah, I was like, oh, never mind. I remember. I know who had the shortest title reign.
Yeah, they did. That was definitely them. I mean, I don't know all the AEW history, but the AEW history that I know, that's definitely the shortest title reign.
See, the only one that could be really convoluted, and I don't know how to treat it, and nor do I care to try to look back at how it's replicated, is when Sammy and Cody at the beginning of this year with the whole interim championship and the way that they traded the TBS title back and forth at the beginning of the year. That's the only thing that would make me question it, but that got so convoluted that I don't even know.
Beginning of last year?
No. It was this year.
This year?
Yeah. Because Cody Rhodes showed up at Mania this year. Like, this is when he changed, was in the beginning of this year.
So I'm pretty sure that I have never seen Cody wrestle in AEW. And I've been watching since late last year.
Alright, so I'll just give you well, first he wrestled at Full Gear. Oh, never mind, that was 2021 at the end there.
Yeah.
The match before it was 2022. Hold on. Well, no, that was Full Gear 2021, so that was right when you started watching last year.
Yeah.
Then the whole Sammy versus Cody thing started at the very end because they did the Christmas match at the end of last year.
Okay.
And then December 31st, it looks like they wrestled again. Now it's doing that whole thing on my phone where it's not loading up like the further down the list. Cody versus Sammy Dynamite Beach Break, January 26, 2022. That's the ladder match that everybody talks about.
Okay.
So basically, very end, like December, January, maybe even partially into February. I'm not sure because Cody, I think, won that. But around December into like February, they got all convoluted with the TNT title. I think I called it TBS earlier.
Yeah. Well, none of them are beating Jade, that's for sure. Sammy wouldn't stand a chance, bitches.
But after Caster got the mic drop on Tony Nese for the win, Sterling said he wasn't going to give up the trademark, and he started to walk up the ramp, and Billy comes back out, throws him in the ring. After that was fun.
So that they can perform multiple scissor kinds of moves on him. Like, let's just spread his legs and hit him a lot.
Oh, that's what it was. One of the lines in the rap was that they were going to stomp him in the nuts. So when they spread his legs and just repeatedly stomped him in the nuts, that's why.
Oh, they boondoxed him. All right.
Then they hit the Scissor Me Timbers, and then we finally got the Scissor Me Daddy ass.
Scissor Me Timbers. Yeah, they finally got to their scissoring reunited.
Ooh.
Scissor again.
I feel like this would have been a good time to just bust out the giant scissors from National Scissoring Day. Just like when they won, like have Billy come back out with the giant scissors.
Yeah.
And smack.
We should, what we need to do is watch Edward Scissorhands the next time there's a National Scissoring Day, and then we'll watch wrestling.
I need to take a look. When are they getting the foam fingers? I will never own.
I feel like they would announce it because they're gonna sell out immediately.
Yeah, they said they're working on it, so I'm waiting for it. But never in any of the sports events, never did the foam finger thing. I will get a pair of scissors.
It's just gonna be like a peace symbol.
Oh, peace. I'll make sure that I turn it sideways and stick it on that wall or something back there.
Yeah, there we go. Then it's scissors.
Get a whole neon sign, get it custom made just to say "Scissor Me Daddy Ass" and put it on the wall, and then regret the decision in a year.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say, it'll be cool for like the first day, and then you'll be like, I should have been an adult.
Get it custom made, and by the time it actually shows up, they're no longer even together on screen or something. Be like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Oh my god, that would suck. Yeah, you just like get it made into the wall.
Go just.
So then if they break up ever, then you'll be like, oh, well, this wall will commemorate that short time when Daddy Ass was scissoring.
I'll just have to make like a YouTube short of it or something. Like when I go back there and unplug it and just, put my head down to walk away, put some sad music to it. But
Whoa.
Next, because we've talked about it a little bit, was Tony Schiavone with Jade, where basically they just announced since Penelope Ford's not wrestling, Jade volunteered later to fill in as like a negotiation tactic to be able to meet up with.
So fine. So fine.
Because she wants to meet up with Nyla in the ring to get that TBS title back.
She does. She said she is going to get that belt tonight.
I do appreciate that this is taking longer for her to get it back than it did the tag team titles and the world championship when the Undisputed Elite took them, when they got everything back like the very next show. So I'm happy that at least this is
There's a story.
Yeah, I don't want to say going somewhere, but like it's more than like, hey, I stole it for one show.
Yeah. So, do you think that they're going to try and stall this thing out until Full Gear?
Could you?
Because I kind of feel like it'll be stale by that time.
So here's what I wonder. AEW doesn't typically do DQ finishes, countouts, that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
Would they do a countout finish for a match like this where Nyla just takes the title and runs? Because it would at least fit the story. But she's kind of acting like a face now, so I don't know. I was just trying to think of how you could stall it out, but still have the confrontation.
Because, like, you can do the obvious in which, AEW wrestlers generally aren't going to be out there every single week. So take a week or two off. Because I'm like, if they were both going to be on the show every week, that would be a long time to draw this out. I feel like, unless if they have something bigger planned.
What if they just did something stupid like Nala just goes up and like pushes a ref over, like, oh no, suspend me for a couple of weeks, and then takes the title with her?
Yeah.
Who knows? I think this next part was with where you and I are both in the chat, even with you and your delay. I was like, what the fuck? Then I think you got to it. It was just a weird ensemble of characters.
Yeah, the Lucha Bros, Eddie Kingston, and Ortiz.
Basically, they were having an intervention for Eddie, but they never said why until like partially through it. So Eddie is just acting confused while the other three are all awkward as hell.
Like, hey B, they should have told him to be less fat.
That would have went over so well.
I know.
They basically say you can't be losing your temper and another job. So they're there to look out for him, like he's got to chill. Then Pac walks in and he says, listen to the champs. Losing your composure at Grand Slam in your own backyard. And then Pac kind of scoffs and he walks off. And then he gets all pissed off. And Ortiz is like, I didn't invite him, I swear.
Yeah. Pac being a bastard. That bastard. And I was like, oh, this is cute. The Lucha Bros are having a nice moment here with Eddie Kingston. They're trying to tell him not to get his dumb ass fired.
I feel like this could have been a spot that could have been benefited like from having like a TV where like the whole where they're watching like a replay just to kind of recap what they're referencing to, because they were referencing all the way back a month ago practically to Grand Slam when he wouldn't let go of his submission and he got his, security came down and his victory got overturned, and unfortunately that means Sammy wins. Yeah,
Sammy won because he's a winner. That's all he does,
even against Jade,
no matter what. Everybody, hands go up.
I mean, that definitely applies for the person and one of the people in the next match, because it was Hook versus Ari Daivari.
Yeah, you don't even know me. You don't even know me.
But all he does is win.
That is true. That is all he does. Yeah. This was the longest Hook match I've ever seen, because his matches are generally squash matches.
The Butler just somehow the ref didn't kick out the Butler, but he distracted or interfered probably 5 times in 5 minutes.
Hey. It's because Ari Daivari probably paid the ref because he's the richest man in wrestling.
There was all them dollar bills in the ring for the entirety of the match.
Because he tried to. Oh yeah, that's right. He tried to pay Hook off before the match. He's just like, here, I'll give you the money and you just give me the belt.
It's like,
I'm like, that's a pretty good deal.
It's like, maybe you're not a check person. Maybe you don't have a bank account. How about some cold hard cash?
Yeah.
One thing about him having a smaller opponent, I mean, not that Hook is big, but Vari was on the apron and he got to put the red robe on him over top of the ropes and he dragged his ass all the way back into the ring.
Yeah. And he did it to the Butler too.
Fuck the Butler, you can get it too.
I mean, he deserved it after all of that. He was almost featured in this match more than Ari Daivari.
I know at one point Hook was up against a rope, saying like reached in and he started like smacking him across the face with dollar bills or whatever.
Yeah. Give me more of that Butler. I don't really need any more of Ari Daivari, but give me more of the Butler.
See, I like him better than Jose the assistant. Best thing the assistants ever did was get called the assistant by John Silver. Like, nobody's talking to you. You're the assistant.
Yeah. I feel like people should come at him about his name being Jose the assistant more often. I'd be like, I'd be calling him Mr. the Assistant. Mr. the Assistant, or is it Mr. Assistant?
Next, there's Lexi with Stokely and Ethan Page backstage. Well, at least that's how they introduced it, but Matt Hardy was there too.
Yeah. Oh, they own Matt. They own Matt's ass. It's weird. This was a weird segment here. Duh fuck.
He asked where Private Party is, then they said they were, back training and they're trying to get the Matt Hardy stench off of them, or stank off of them. He mentioned something about TV time, and they go, TV time is for the firm, and they give Matt a contract for a match on Dark Elevation.
Yep. And then he starts doing some kind of weird rap that sounds like something that you would have done during the DARE program in elementary school.
It was like he was trying to rap, but in his like broken Matt type of character, with this weird enunciation and stuff.
Yeah, because everyone walks away, rightfully so, because the fuck.
I don't remember
what was that,
when or why, because I feel like Ethan Page said something after, but as soon as he got done, Stokely just, I don't even know how to describe the facial feature, but it was just one of those big, and just walks off.
Just like, I'm out. I think, I don't know what Ethan Page said either. It was probably just something along the lines of why. And then he walked off too, because why? What was that?
Part of me wants to go back and watch it again just to try to understand what the hell happened, but
I know. I want to know what happened, but what?
What if he took like some actually like big time rap lyrics and then he just twisted it into like his words and his weird enunciation, and somehow Stokely managed to recognize what the hell he was saying, and it was like, fuck this guy. Like he secretly was just doing a Shakespearean version of like Tupac or something.
Yeah. Back that ass up.
Reverse that derriere. Oh god.
That would be great.
Should just rewrite some kind of rap song in like spoken word format like Shakespeare.
I am not convinced that isn't already a thing.
Probably is. Somebody's probably done it. Let's just do it better.
Like I feel like it's out there because all the bardcore out there.
The what?
Bardcore. You don't know about bardcore?
No, you're making up words to me right now.
It was all the hotness during the quarantine, man. It was like so it was just medieval versions of popular songs, basically. but it blew up all over, or at least it blew up in my circle. As we would all play it in the background during D&D games and stuff.
That would make a lot more sense because not as much my style. So this is fun. I just realized that my graphic for you is not lined up right. That's awesome.
You
well,
got me all sexy like.
No, it's making a pain in the butt to try to adjust it too, so it can suck some ass for the time being.
Okay, as long as I don't suck the ass with it.
No, because every time I try to capture anything, it's always capturing the things over top of it, so it sucks. But you know what? It can deal because it doesn't look that bad. You want to know what else did it look that bad?
I do.
I remember where we let off. I was like, oh, perfect timing.
Yeah. So up next, the main event.
I'm pretty sure you just said nut next.
Nut next. Yeah. Anyways, Willow Nightingale was out there versus Layla Gray, who I also like too, but Willow Nightingale most importantly.
Of course, Kira was out there, trying to help Layla. Failing miserably.
Period. She was on the period.
I'm back to. I don't care that I've seen her without the wigs. I'm back to liking her.
Man. Yeah, I must admit that super kick was nice.
I not fully understand. Part of it is like when it comes to entertainment and production, the angles and everything, and
and
of course she has charisma.
That perfect, she's got the charisma, and it was just the perfect way to go to commercial. They're just kicking her in the face and turning to the camera and doing her thing, and then they go straight to commercial. That was perfect.
I miss Red Velvet.
Me too. Red Velvet, come back.
I saw recently she posted some stuff of them all together. Oh yeah, I sent you the picture where they all were on Danhausen's vlog. So I had hopes that meant she'd be around soon.
Danhausen knows what he's doing. Maybe, just maybe, we can hope for it.
Baddie House.
Anyways, back to the Willow. So, Willow puts on a masterclass of being Willow. I just have to say that because she is Willow. But this actually was for what it was. I thought it was actually a solid match. And like we had some real wrestling in there a little bit.
That's what I kind of feel like Rampage was, and that's what I'm like. In the beginning, I'm like, they trotted out the stars, the people they cared about. Like in the beginning, you had the Acclaimed, and then you had Jade, and then you had Hook. Now you get Willow, which is getting reactions. And then we'll get to the main event when we get to the. Sorry, we're at the main event, but the
match that is billed as the main event, but the true main event is what we're talking about at this time.
Yeah,
Willow Nightingale, the main event. That's what she needs to just change her name to. Willow Nightingale, the main event.
Should Mark Henry start being her manager?
Oh, yo, that would be dope.
The whole point you could be like
have that like big sweetheart personality thing going on.
But cool. And he could push her to try to like embrace the power game kind of thing.
Yeah, because she's got some dope slams, like her finisher, that Dr. Bomb.
I loved it.
Yeah, like she's got, like, regardless of men or women, she's got one of the best power bombs in wrestling.
She got the win with her Dr. Bomb, and then after, out comes Tony Schiavone, who even says as he gets in the ring, he's like, yeah, I'm out here as a surprise to Willow too.
Dog. Willow is all elite, y'all. Oh.
She
Hit of the
definitely
night.
had like a visible reaction when those words came across, because he had to point out like the big image on the screen behind her, so it's not even like she was looking at anything.
Yeah, she like either I don't know, either she's a really good actor, or she legitimately didn't know they were doing this today.
They've done it a number of times to people kind of that way in the past, so it would not surprise me at all if she did not know.
Yeah, that was real nice. That was the highlight of the night for me, because that means there's going to be so much more Willow on television, and I am here for it.
So unfortunately, that leads into where I have to crap on somebody else you like. Because after that, Jade comes out with a steel chair, not to hit Willow or anything. Willow even acts afraid and gets out of her way.
Mm-hmm.
She throws the chair down, sits down, tells Nyla she has 10 seconds to bring out her belt. They come on the screen. They said they got her keys from Valet. Show off the championship. They said she's Miss Jacksonville. Basically, they're going to peel off to go, have some fun in Jacksonville. What did you think about the whole Nyla part? Because with them letting her show more of this side of her personality, I actually am laughing a little bit and enjoying her.
Yeah, I like this a whole lot, actually. Like Nyla, when she just started out singing to Jade, to the tune of, what was that? What's going on? Jade.
Yeah. I was trying to remember
that was
how
really cool.
But this is where I have to say, they send out security to get Jade in the ring, because she said she's not leaving without her belt. She starts punching security guard after security guard, when her whole point was the fact that she was hijacking the show and staying in the ring.
Yeah.
So tell me why she was punching all the security people on her way to exit the arena. Why would it?
Yeah, that was a big story beat that just didn't make sense. It was like, all right, so
I'm gonna do what you want,
asses just so that you could do what they wanted you to do.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Yeah, this one was a miss. As much as I love Jade, this was definitely a miss. Like this was like the reverse hit of the night.
We're gonna have to figure out a term, and then I can make a graphic or something for it, because we've found the need to want to use it 2 shows in a row now.
Yep. Reverse hit of the night. Mm-hmm. Oh wait, that's right. I forgot. I drank water on a reverse hit.
And then it just gets weirder from there, because it's Alex Marvez with 10, which is interrupted by Mr. Assistant, who says 10 can still take on the contract. But Roosh pops in, and he doesn't even try to get him to take the contract anymore. He's like, I'm going to say it once, that you better bring the fight or I'm going to beat your ass. Then Orange Cassidy pops up from behind the bar.
Yeah. He has a backpack with his belt in it, because he carries the belt in a backpack, because, carrying it like a regular person is too much work.
Yeah.
And he has 2 beers.
They're like, he doesn't like to carry things with his hands, as you see him pick up 2 different beers and put them down for him.
Yeah. He doesn't carry things that aren't beers. Okay. That's noble.
Roosh says he doesn't want his beer, but he does want his title. And in a very Orange Cassidy kind of way, he delivers that, okay, you want this? You want each other? Okay. And basically became a triple threat.
I'll do this. Yep. Yeah, it was just like that. Orange Cassidy hiding behind a bar to hijack the main event.
I mean, good thing he did, because with the way that the whole 10 and Andrade and all that situation went, it just became a mess.
Yeah, I was surprised by it, but then when I thought about it, yeah, they needed it, because Roosh versus 10 for the main event just it just wasn't enough for a main event.
And that would have been on par with a boring Nyla Rose versus a boring Toni Storm.
Yeah.
At least Nyla Rose has turned it around.
Yeah. I mean, I've never thought Nyla Rose was boring at all.
I didn't care for the powerhouse beast with there wasn't like personality to it or anything to go with.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, there's just with that, the way her character was, she didn't have a chance to do anything really. Besides just.
Yep. And that's mostly what it was for like 3 years.
Like, yeah, like when you don't even get a chance to speak and all you have to do is just make weird faces. Yeah.
Despite being a champion at some point, by the way.
Yeah. I see that was surprising to me just because of how they book her. Now, I'm like, damn, this is how you book a former champion. All right.
It went wonderfully, but so the AEW's women's division was originally just it was tore up because a lot of them, they had a lot of Japanese wrestlers. They had some UK people like Jamie Hayter and some other people. So during pandemic, half the roster wasn't even available.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was pretty bad for a long while. And everyone started crapping on them. I was like, basically they got put behind the 8-ball by a long time.
Yeah, like, and they couldn't really do anything about that.
It took Jamie Hayter 2 years to get back on my TV screen.
You poor man.
The biggest thing about this main event was the main event promo, which honestly, the main event promo in itself between the two normal squares, nobody gave a fuck about what Roosh or 10 had to say. Somebody might went like, oh, -1, how cute, and that's about it.
Yeah, like -1 was there, all right. But Mark Henry is down there getting ready to do his thing, and here is Orange Cassidy standing in front of him with his microphone as well to hijack the main event promo here. Like, this man is like supreme villainy, and he doesn't even like, and he's supposed to be the good guy. I'm like, this guy's a villain. He's a villain.
I mean, if you think about it, all he does is taunt his opponents. That's a very heel move, villainous move.
That's so it's like he's a heel. He's just he's a nice guy heel.
Or it's kind of like that Thanos line. You did all that for a single drop of blood. He looks at Roosh in the beginning of the match. He's like, you did all that just to get my sunglasses off? So man had his sunglasses on despite doing his kick up and like suicide dives and all this other stuff. Kept hands in pockets.
Like more than one flip with those sunglasses on.
The dude did a whole lot with his hands in his pockets and sunglasses on his face.
Yeah. And his sunglasses, they slid off his eyes, but they were still on his face. And he just gave them to Danhausen. Because, you know, your sunglasses will be safe with Danhausen.
So remember the one time it was him, he was facing off with like Penta, and Penta did the whole thing where he takes off his glove and he threw it out in the crowd and like outside to ring, and Jose caught it, and Orange Cassidy did the same thing with the sunglasses, and the crowd erupted just because Danhausen caught the sunglasses.
Yeah, see, I was surprised that he was out there and didn't really do anything that stood out, because he always has like an interesting moment, usually when he doesn't have any speaking.
Well, he cursed Jose. Oh, he got in there and stopped Jose at one point, but that's about it.
Yeah,
I was surprised because when Roosh went underneath the ring to pull out like the cables and stuff, I was like, see, you could have had just the best friends out there. Then this is when Danhausen comes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Chuck should have been out there with his chainsaw.
I want somebody to remake a certain music video by Limp Bizkit where they talk about chainsaws a lot and just put Chuck Taylor in it.
Want it? I just want a Chuck Taylor chainsaw shirt.
Kind of like
I would never wear a Chuck Taylor shirt if it didn't have a chainsaw on it.
Kind of like the whole Eddie Kingston with the gas can shirt.
Yeah, I would rock that. So rock that.
But yeah, at the very end of the promo, Orange Cassidy did start to do the whole, well, there's been enough talk, and then Mark just stops him this time.
Mark's just like, all right. It's just like, I still need my job, sir.
I can like literally just put my hand on your head and push down, and you will be flatter than a piece of paper. Shut your mouth and let me say my line.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm pretty sure that Mark Henry's still strong as heck, man.
Yeah, he's just gonna go like this and push him down, and he's gonna end up folding like an accordion, like Bugs Bunny cartoon. I literally have no notes besides the very end. Oh wait, there was one. Hold on, let me put this little graphic back up because I haven't used it yet. They tried to do a double choke slam to Orange Cassidy through the timekeeper's table. Two, beefy boys doing a choke slam. Orange Cassidy did not go through. It did not look fun.
Yeah, he's probably gonna need some Tylenol after that, and a muscle relaxer or two.
It made me have second thoughts about all of our talk about putting a certain friend of ours through a table. Like, if it fails, this is going to be terrible.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, that's right. Roosh's new cape. It's cute. I'm convinced that he's a furry, though. Because that looked like part of his, fursona costume thing.
Words I did not need. Well, would that be called an amalgamation of words? A persona?
Yeah, well, yeah. Kind of. Because, yeah, we won't get into
things I did not know before.
To furry lore right now.
Oh, God.
I dated a furry before. It didn't last long.
But
as soon as she tried to make me get that costume, I was like, it's gonna be hot. Nope.
But in LFI kind of ways, Roosh ended up going for Ten's mask. Not really to necessarily take it off. It looked like he was just trying to twist it around his face so that way he couldn't do anything. And that ended up leading to Orange Cassidy getting a roll-up in which Ten didn't even look like he was struggling at all, like even attempting to kick out.
Yeah, he was just chilling.
So
He was like, you know, I could get out of this if I wanted to, but I don't want to.
but then he kind of is slow to get out of the ring when Orange Cassidy celebrating, kind of looking at him. Eventually does. He kind of walks up alongside of Roosh. They kind of stare at each other. Kind of made it seem like maybe they're about to go back in the ring and destroy Orange Cassidy. Then -1 comes out like he's some like 1950s cartoon character to get into Roosh's face, doing like the whole thing.
Yep.
Ted just picks him up and carries him off.
Yeah, and just Claudio's him away.
Like, yep, no, sorry, this is gonna break your heart, buddy, but let's just take you backstage.
Claudioing when it's a grown man. Yeah, no, so yeah, when you carry a kid away, you're just carrying the kid away. So, but if it's a grown man, it's Claudioing. It's a verb. It's in the dictionary, you guys. You can look it up. Claudioing. To carry a grown man away as if he were a small child.